You're standing at the edge of a cliff, feeling the cool breeze on your skin. In the distance you can see the wide open horizon, stretching endlessly, full of possibilities. And in that moment, you realize one thing. There's nothing holding you back except for the invisible chains you've allowed to tie you down. But those chains, those limits you think you can't break are not real. They're just thoughts. And what's incredible is that you hold the key to unlocking your freedom. Let me tell you a secret. The only thing that has ever stopped you from living your best life, from doing what you want, from becoming who you truly are, is not your circumstances, not your challenges, and certainly not your body. It's the fear of what others will think. And let me tell you, I get it. I've been there. What's more, if everyone just listened, included in that secret, in 4 days, I'm going to announce my most secret thing. We've all been there. For years I was trapped by the voices in my head, telling me I wasn't good enough, telling me I wasn't worthy, telling me I was different, that I didn't belong. I spent too many moments in my life comparing myself to everyone around me. I wanted to fit in. I wanted approval. I wanted the world to see me the way I wanted to be seen. But here's the thing. I've learned the hard way that people's opinions of you are not your reality. You see, the world will always have something to say. There will always be those who judge you, who criticize you, who look at your life through the lens of their own insecurities. And the truth is, it's not about them, it's about you. And in the quiet moments when you're left alone with your thoughts, it's easy to start doubting yourself. You start thinking you need to live up to their standards, to their expectations. You think that if you just act a certain way, dress a certain way, speak a certain way, maybe you'll be accepted. But let me ask you, how has that been working for you? Let me tell you, there's nothing more freeing, nothing more powerful than waking up every single day and being at peace with who you are. Not the version of you that someone else wants to see, but the version of you that is authentic and unapologetically yourself. Yes, you are enough. And it's not about waiting for someone else to give you permission to be great. You've already got that permission. It was given to you the moment you were born. But the truth is, so many of us walk around carrying the weight of other people's opinions as if their approval is what defines us. You let someone's sideways glance, their whispered gossip, or their judgment make you question your worth. But when you stop and think about it, what really matters? Think about the most incredible people who've ever lived. Think about the legends, the visionaries, the dreamers, the trailblazers. Do you think they worried about what others thought of them? Do you think they asked for permission to chase their dreams, to be different, to push boundaries? No, they didn't. What did they do instead? They stepped out. They stood tall. They believed in themselves even when no one else did. And that's why they left a mark on this world that's still felt today. So let me tell you something. You don't need to carry the weight of anyone else's opinions. You don't need to shrink yourself to fit into a mold someone else has created for you. You don't need to get approval from anyone but yourself. Imagine how freeing that is. Imagine waking up every day and knowing deep down that you are already enough. You are already worthy. You already have everything you need to succeed and be happy. The only thing that needs to change is your mindset. The only thing that needs to shift is the way you look at the world. Stop letting the judgment of others control your life. You're not here to live for anyone but yourself. The moment you stop caring what other people think, you free yourself from the prison of insecurity, fear, and doubt. Because guess what? People are always going to talk. They're always going to have something to say. But that doesn't define who you are. Let me be clear. I've faced more than my fair share of struggles. I've been told I would never amount to anything. I've been told I was less than others because I was born without limbs. I've heard the whispers, I've felt the stares, but you know what? Those voices have no power over me. Why? Because I stopped listening to them. I stopped giving them space in my heart. I started to realize that what really matters is the voice that comes from within. It's the voice that tells you that your dreams are possible no matter who doubts you. It's the voice that says, you've got this when everyone else says you can't. It's the voice that reminds you in your darkest hour that you are stronger than you think. So ask yourself, who do you want to live for? Do you want to live for the approval of others? Or do you want to live for yourself? Because, my friend, the moment you start living for yourself, you start living with purpose. You start living with intention. You start living with joy. You begin to take control of your life in ways you never imagined possible. You were not made to hide in the shadows. You were not made to shrink. You were not made to be small. You were made to shine. And the only thing holding you back from that light is the fear of what others might think. But let me tell you, if you stop caring about what others think and start focusing on what you believe, your world will transform in ways you can't even begin to imagine. Now, I know it's not easy. I know it's hard, but if I can do it, so can you. I didn't have limbs to run with. I didn't have the perfect body. I didn't have the ideal conditions, but I had my heart, my mind, and my courage. And those are the only things that truly matter in this world. So here's the challenge. Today, right now, choose to stop caring about other people's opinions. Start living your life the way you want to live it. Be bold, be unapologetic, be you. Because when you stop caring about what others think, you free yourself to do what you were born to do. You free yourself to make the difference you were born to make. It's time to take that first step. So, are you ready? From an early age, we are conditioned to seek validation and approval from those around us. Whether it's our parents, teachers, peers, or society at large, we grow up learning that our worth is often measured by how others perceive us. This constant search for external validation can create a subtle but powerful force, trapping us in a cycle of insecurity and self-doubt. The truth is, these outside opinions can act as chains, binding us to an image of ourselves that isn't true to who we are. Every time we adjust our behavior, our dreams, or our actions based on the fear of what others might think, we give away a little more of our true selves. These fears don't just come from people's judgment. They come from the stories we tell ourselves about those judgments. We imagine what others will say or how they will perceive us, even if they haven't said a word. It becomes a narrative we hold on to, one that constrains our freedom to live authentically. Imagine for a moment that you didn't have to worry about being judged by others. Imagine that you could step into every room with the confidence to speak your truth without wondering if it would be received with approval. How would that change your life? The reality is, when we start making decisions based on the approval of others, we create a barrier between ourselves and the life we want to live. We begin to play roles that were never meant for us, pretending to be someone we're not, simply to fit into a mold created by someone else's standards. The first step to breaking free from these chains is recognizing that the judgments of others are based on their own experiences, fears, and insecurities, not your truth. Everyone has their own set of beliefs, their own way of seeing the world, and they often project these views onto others. But just because someone thinks something about you doesn't make it true. Their opinions are not facts. They're merely perceptions. And when we live our lives with the assumption that those perceptions define us, we limit our potential. When we stop caring about what others think, we begin to reclaim our power. No longer do we need to twist ourselves into shapes to fit into the boxes other people have drawn for us. Instead, we can stand tall in our own skin, proudly embodying our unique qualities and perspectives. It's in this space of freedom where true personal growth happens, where we can discover our real passions, our deepest desires, and our most authentic selves. It's important to remember that breaking free from the chains of others' opinions doesn't mean we become indifferent to others entirely. We are social beings, and human connection is essential. However, it's about finding the balance between staying true to ourselves and respecting others. It's about no longer letting the fear of judgment dictate our choices, but instead choosing a life where we honor our inner voice above all else. When we stop caring about the opinions of others, we start living on our terms. This is when we unlock the true power within us to live courageously, make bold decisions, and create the kind of life we've always dreamed of. And when we do this, we not only free ourselves, but also inspire others to do the same. The key takeaway here is simple. The chains of other people's opinions are only as strong as the power we give them. Once we stop giving those opinions control over our lives, we can break free and start living fully, authentically, and without fear. This approach empowers individuals to stop letting others' opinions define them and encourages the pursuit of personal freedom. In a world that often tells us we need to be something we're not to fit in or succeed, it's easy to forget the most important truth of all. You are enough. Too often we base our worth on external factors, whether it's the approval of others, societal standards of beauty, or material success. The constant comparison to others can leave us feeling inadequate, as though we're never quite good enough. But the truth is, your value has never depended on meeting anyone else's expectations. Your worth is inherent. It's built into who you are as a person. The power of self-belief comes from recognizing that you are already complete as you are. You don't need to change, shrink, or conform to someone else's vision of who you should be in order to matter. This is a fundamental shift that changes everything. When you believe in yourself, you stop seeking validation from outside sources. You stop measuring your worth by other people's standards. Instead, you embrace your strengths, your uniqueness, and your imperfections, because they make you who you are. Self-belief is a constant practice. It's not something that happens overnight, nor is it something that others can give to you. You have to cultivate it within yourself. It starts with trusting your own instincts, standing firm in your convictions, and affirming your value regularly. It means looking in the mirror and telling yourself that you are enough, that you deserve success, love, and happiness just as you are. When you truly believe in your own worth, you don't need the approval of others to feel validated. You begin to walk through life with confidence and purpose, regardless of the noise or criticism that may come your way. You realize that the opinions of others are just that, opinions. They are not facts, and they do not define your life or your path. You define that. Self-belief also means not letting your mistakes or setbacks define you. Everyone stumbles, everyone faces challenges, but those challenges don't determine your value. They simply contribute to your story. By embracing your imperfections and learning from them, you strengthen your self-belief and become more resilient. Ultimately, when you embrace the power of self-belief, you give yourself permission to live authentically. You start to make decisions based on what feels right to you, not what you think others want or expect from you. And when you live authentically, you unlock your true potential. Living authentically means showing up as the person you truly are, without pretending, without hiding, and without trying to fit into someone else's mold. It's about embracing your uniqueness, your quirks, and your passions, and refusing to apologize for them. This is the freedom that comes from not caring what others think of you. For many people, the fear of rejection or judgment can make it tempting to put on a mask and pretend to be someone they're not. Whether it's in relationships, at work, or in social settings, the pressure to conform can lead us to live inauthentically. We may act a certain way to be liked, dress a certain way to be accepted, or pursue goals that align with what others expect rather than what truly excites us. But here's the catch. When you live this way, you never get to experience the fullness of who you really are. You may achieve success, you may gain approval, but you'll always feel like something is missing. That's because when you aren't living authentically, you're not living true to your core values, your true passions, and your genuine self. To live authentically is to connect deeply with yourself. It means honoring your true desires, your goals, and your vision for life, no matter how unconventional they might seem to others. It requires the courage to stand out, to go against the grain, and to pursue the path that is true to you, even if it's not what others expect or understand. Living authentically also involves embracing vulnerability. It means being willing to show the world your real self, with all your flaws, strengths, and imperfections. When you stop hiding behind a facade, you invite more genuine connections into your life. You attract people who love you for who you truly are, not for the version you present to the world out of fear or insecurity. There is incredible power in authenticity. When you embrace your true self, you become magnetic. You begin to radiate confidence and inner peace because you're no longer fighting against your own identity. You become free to pursue your dreams, your passions, and your purpose without the weight of others' expectations holding you back. Living authentically also brings fulfillment. There is a deep sense of satisfaction that comes from being true to who you are, from pursuing goals that align with your values, and from cultivating relationships where you don't have to pretend. When you stop caring what others think and start living in alignment with your own truth, you find a deeper sense of happiness and purpose. In the end, authenticity is not just about being true to yourself. It's about setting yourself free. It's about living life on your own terms and knowing that the only approval you need is your own.